show up. You have to do more than just show up. You have to invest yourself, and I believe Darren Sharp's going to do a fantastic job for District D.
Well, that is good to hear. Now, I didn't get a chance to speak to you a couple days ago when there was more revelations that the former now City Councilman Francisco Ramirez was posting on social media, and more allegations that he was claiming. Now that the recall election is pretty much settled, which Diane Sharp, congratulations to her, what do you feel about these allegations and these claims that Mr. Ramirez brought up over this election process, and where does this go now?
Are you referring to the new video with regard to the paperwork?
Yes.
Okay. So if you look up PAC, you'll understand that running something like that is completely legal. I mean, they allow for certain amounts of money to be spent for elections. It's exactly what it is. It's set up that way to be able to do that. Everything on that paperwork was absolutely legal. It happens all the time. People have organizations like this for campaigns. They have so many dollars they can spend per year, how much money they can spend per election. There's a lot of rules and regulations to how much can be done, and I'm not real familiar because I don't have one of those types of organizations, but I watched it, and I actually looked up PAC, and it's completely legal. So that's exactly the type of thing that I'm talking about. Is it's becoming comical at this point that he's throwing things like that out there, and some people are believing it, not without doing research. And I always encourage people, do your research. And it's sources have been cited on his video. Look this up. It's legal. But, sometimes the comments get deleted because, of course, when you're that negative, no one wants to allow you to speak in a positive manner, which is disturbing. And this is why I think the entire city of Hanford was celebrating last night. That's what I think. As a matter of fact, Lou Martinez came here last night. We're all able to work together. Diane called me or texted me the night before, said good luck tomorrow. Lou called me. He came by last night. We're all able to be adults, except Mr. Ramirez. He doesn't want to work with anyone. And that's a problem for all of us. We need to feel very disturbed about that. I watched one post where he actually put down one of his fellow council members. So this is a victory for the current city council as well. They're going to finally get an adult there. I'm sorry, these things may sound petty and come across as ugly, but the things that have come out of Mr. Ramirez's mouth are astounding. I almost don't actually believe what I'm watching. If someone were to tell me this and I didn't see it for myself, I probably wouldn't believe it.
I did see a video on social media in which Mr. Ramirez was claiming that according to the votes, had people have been able to select him as a candidate, that he would have beat everybody that was involved as candidates for the number of votes that were voted no on the recall.
Right, and there we go again. Why are you being so arrogant? There just isn't room for it here. If that's how you feel, then go ahead and run in November. But I'm actually doing some research right now myself because I want to find out if that's actually true, because I believe if you fight a recall, it's actually political suicide for you. The best way to handle it is to just resign. And, there's been so many arguments on people spending $30,000 of taxpayers' money, we could flip the switch and say that Mr. Ramirez could have also saved the taxpayers $30,000 if he would have just resigned. So, I feel like some of his supporters are also uneducated, and not to put down the general public, but they're only uneducated because they're listening and they're believing what he's saying, which all of it is untrue. And if he can run in November, good luck to him. But right now, there's a whole lot of serious accusations going on in the city. He's put down, our Kings County assessor and accused her of corruption. You just can't walk around and do those sort of things, not as an individual and definitely not as an elected official.
We get tons of emails and messages on Facebook, and I had a listener that had emailed me, messaged us a comment that was made in a video that you had apparently, in which said that there could be possibly some prosecution taking place against Mr. Ramirez. Do you know anything about that?
I don't know who has, filed. I don't know anybody that's filed any charges, but I certainly wouldn't be surprised.
Wow. Well, I believe
that there should be. I believe that. Whether there are some right now or not, I don't know, but I think there should be. I just can't wrap my head around him not knowing how serious the things that he said. These are respected, elected officials in our community. You cannot go around and say everything you just want to say, that they are, on one team or another or being corrupt. The elections office is corrupt too. Our own city hall has to look at those signatures, where he works. If they're corrupt, then that makes him corrupt. That's where he works. So it's hard for me to wrap my head around how many people are you going to accuse of corruption. If you feel that way, go through the proper channels and file the paperwork against these people, but there's no need to put that out there that you feel like these respected people, also elected in, are full of corruption. There's just no purpose in doing that. It's a small city.
I just want to mention to our viewers and listeners right now, this is Shelli Barker. She was a candidate for the Hanford City Council District D, but now she is speaking to us as just a private citizen here with her own thoughts on what she thinks, or her reaction anyways, to the election last night. So, Shelli, now that everything has gone away and we are now moving forward with Diane Sharp, just what do you hope for the city of Hanford? Ultimately, what do you want accomplished as a private citizen, and do you think our city council can improve on making things just a whole lot better here?
I do think that they can. With Diane on in the District D seat, she's a lovely lady, very pleasant. She's very smart. She has a lot to bring to the table. So I think that they're all going to be excited to work with her. And I think a lot more will be accomplished because we're not having a council member who wants to focus on, who's out to get me, but what are we going to do? Where do we start? And get to work. I believe that Diane Sharp is going to go in there and immediately get to work and immediately start listening to the District D and the whole city of Hanford. So I think that Hanford's just really going to start to see a lot of changes. One person can really change the tone, and her coming in with fresh optics is a beautiful thing because she's seen it from the outside looking in. and she can speak on behalf of the citizens in a clear way. You know, sometimes when you get caught up in a job, it tends to get kind of stagnant. She's coming in fresh and new, and I think she has a lot to bring to the table, and like I said, bring some new insights to the current council. So I'm excited.
That's good. That's good. And Shelli, you also mentioned to us that even if you lost in the election, you were going to continue to help out the city, right? Yes.
I still work throughout the community, helping everyone. You know, wherever I'm needed, I'm still very approachable. Nothing has changed for me. You know, I don't represent District D. I didn't win the city council seat, but I'm still very involved in the community. And I also reached out to Diane and let her know that, you know, if she needs my support in any kind of way, I'll be glad to help. So don't hesitate to call. So, you know, yeah, nothing's going to change for me. I'm still representing the veterans. You know, I'm still involved with crisis support. You know, I mean, really nothing has changed except I don't have to be sitting on the dais on a Tuesday and a Thursday.
All right. Well, Shelli, thank you so much for waking up this morning and using your morning time to hang out with us and give us your reaction on the election. You have a great rest of your week, okay?
Thank you. You too.
All right, that's Shelli Barker, folks. She was a candidate for the Hanford City Council District D seat, but she's calling in this morning, giving us her reaction as a private citizen, and I welcome anybody else that would like to give us a call, 559-836-5386.